are you? Great to hear. Let's play SpaceChem. So today I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the more advanced topics. Specifically, I would like to talk about Waldo stalling and the order of operations, and how we can abuse the hell out of it for some pretty simple solutions. This is probably best seen on Denopeth on the mission It Takes Three. So, before I open this up, just think about the first time you played this mission. To remind you, it's where you take in your three hydrogens and a nitrogen and you form some ammonia and throw it out. It was pretty big and pretty complicated, right? So how do you get this? Now, people who are familiar with the game and already understand what Waldo stalling is, they're unimpressed. They've already got a solution that looks very similar to this. But people who are new are like, whoa! Because I know I was when I first saw this. So, the red loop looks pretty straightforward. We're going to come up, we're going to take in a nitrogen, we're going to stick three hydrogens on it, we're going to get ammonia, but there are no bonds up here. All that's being handled down below on our little blue line. It's not even fair to call this a loop or a circuit, because it's not. It just takes the Waldo and just parks it up against the wall, on top of a bond instruction. And that's an interesting quirk to how SpaceChem works. It's not the first time you pass over the instruction, it's just whichever instruction the Waldo is over top of when the next cycle fires. So let's watch it here. We have a nitrogen, and the bonders are all firing all the time, because we're parked on top of it with blue. We come up, we input a hydrogen, and it immediately sticks to the nitrogen. Great. We do it again. Great. A third time. Perfect. There we go. We have our ammonia. Now again, if you're new to the game, remember orientation does not matter. We can throw it out this way. We can turn it sideways like I'm about to do. Throw it out that way. We don't have to orient it or put it in the same space to actually get it to count. Now, the reason why this works is because we're also exploiting the order of operations. It's kind of tricky to think about order of operations at first without it being explained to you, because you can't see it. So, from our point of view here, it looks like both red and blue are executing at the same time, like we're importing our hydrogen and we're bonding it simultaneously. And visually, that's what's happening. SpaceChem is not giving us any sort of obvious delineation between the two operations happening. But in the code of the game, the way it works is that the red instructions fire before the blue ones. So if we had built the circuit backwards, if we had a blue loop up here and a red line down below, when our nitrogen would come up and around, like we'll see here, this wouldn't work. We'd come up, we'd move over top of our input, but it would go bond, input, move. So the hydrogen wouldn't exist in the system until after the bond had already been processed, and now the nitrogen's moving away. So then when we hit the next input, they would wind up on top of each other. You'd have a nuclear explosion, and SpaceChem typically doesn't let you do that. Some notable exceptions for really specific advanced glitching techniques, but we're not talking about those. But yeah, that's how Waldo stalling works. It's one of the most powerful things you can do in the game. It lets you get away with some very, very low symbol solutions for some pretty complex problems. This is one of them. Alright, so that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. I'm not even sure if anyone's still playing this game at this point. It's been out for a couple of years, and let's face it, it's not the most popular thing. I don't understand why. I love it. But that's probably just being an engineer. This stuff really floats my boat. Anyway, if you like what you see, if you like what I've done, leave a comment and let me know. If you didn't like what I've done, leave a comment and let me know so I can improve for the future, or just, get your hateful vitriol out of your system. I'm fine with being a punching bag too, whatever. Alright, so that's all. If you have any suggestions on anything else you'd like to see explained, or anything else like that, let me know. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. I feel like a tool saying that. This is my first time ever streaming anything. So yeah, just let me know how I did. Thanks. I'm Lusankia. Cheers.